Hi, everybody. I'm Rachel, as in Rachel G. Palmistry. Thank you for joining tonight on SPTV. And I read palms. That's what I do. If you are unfamiliar with me, I've been doing this for a little bit over 35 years now. So I have my own way of kind of doing it, based on lots of books that I've read and personal life experience in dealing with people. Yeah, so if you are familiar with palmistry, you're probably going to be like, why is she calling that line that? And why is she doing it this way? And well, that's because 35 years kind of does that to you. So this is what I need you to do. I need you to send a photo of the hand that you write with, if pen, and sign your name. That is called your dominant hand. Okay, so for me, that's my right hand. Now, I need you to take a photo with your cell phone of that palm, of that hand, because this dominant hand is your current life, okay? And the photo has to be as clear as possible without light behind it. The light should be facing it, not behind it. And it should be from the wrist, including all the very tips of all the fingers, okay? And then you just send it in to the email that is probably somewhere on the screen right now. Okay, so with that being said, toward the end of the show, about 15 minutes toward the end, I will be pulling from a tarot deck, a different tarot deck tonight, because I also read tarot cards and oracle cards and Lenormand cards and you name it. About the only cards I do not read are Thoth. But anyway, so I decided to get out a different deck tonight. I've been using the Light Seers Tarot for quite a while, for many, many, many months, and that's a wonderful deck. But tonight I'm using The Guardian of the Night by M.J. Cullinane, okay? And I'm not quite sure this made it into mass production, to be honest with you, but you're more than welcome to look it up. She also did another tarot deck that she's very famous for called the Crow deck, or the Crow Tarot. And so that one is really wonderful as well, but the main theme throughout it are crows, okay? So, or a murder of crows, I should say. But with this one, with this deck, it's everything that is in the shadows. So we have flowers that only bloom at night. We have nocturnal creatures and things of that nature. And I decided to pull this deck off of my shelf of many cards, many, 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 too many cards, because of all the stuff that is going on planetarily speaking. I made my own word up right now, but especially with Saturn and with Neptune, and that's something that I'm going to be focusing on today, is something that I normally do not talk about, but I think that we need to start talking about, which is the plane of Neptune, which is on the palm. Okay, and I don't like to normally talk about that area, but I am going to, because Neptune is in retrograde. So I think I'm going to try to blend the two together tonight. And as always, if you have any questions about palmistry while I'm live, please ask away. I do love questions. And if you have any questions about anything I have to say, if I get the opportunity to read your palm, and you have a question about whatever I say during that reading, please contact me. You can find me anywhere, pretty much. Just look for Rachel G. Palmistry. Even on, obviously, on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok, on Instagram. You just look for Rachel G. Palmistry and you're going to find me. You can even Google me, okay? You will find me. And just reach out and I would love to answer those questions for you, okay? All right, so with all that being said, do we have any hellos? I have a quick question for you, Richard. For me, the feed is really, really choppy for me. So I was wondering if it was really choppy and just, wow. Yeah, it's like, okay, I'm going to ignore. It's difficult. It's difficult, everybody. It's difficult. I look like a robot, okay? So there we go, Rachel G. Palmistry. And while you're at it, you can also find me on the directory, sptv.uk, and you can check out all the presenters that are on, and you can check out the schedule so that you can see what's on when, where, what time, and what the shows are about and what the presenters are about, and get their backgrounds as well if you are curious about them. And you can even contact the presenters through sptv.uk. And also, hello, you can become a patron of SPTV, but that is for a different time. Hey, Stace, hello to you. Hi, I butchered your name, Shivi. I'm going to say Shivi. Hello there. Hi, Raina. Hi, Helen. Oh, love the pendulum. Amethyst. Natalie, hello. Hi, Julian. Good evening. Helen. Oh, welcome. Hi, Terry. Thanks for all your hard work. Thank you. Karen. Hello to you. Allison, thanks for all your hard work, too. Joanne, hello to you. It's good to see you. Hi, Leah. Sarah, good to see you. Thanks for joining tonight. Jane, hope you're well. Hi, Ashley. Namaste Culinary. Hello to you. Okay, Kimoni, hello. I hope I said your name right. And hi, Karen. Oh, thank you. Thank you. That means a lot. Hi, sun. Here comes the sun. Na. Hi, Suzanne. You're in Windsor, England. I'm in Ohio. Hey, Jane. It's been a long time. How are you? You sent your palm, son? Good. Hey, Helen. Ooh, well, I focus on, my palm readings can go on forever, to be quite honest with you, everybody. So when they are in person, okay? So I luckily have Richard in my ear. Hi, Felicity. I luckily have Richard in my ear going, Rachel. Because once I start down that rabbit hole, hi, V, I just start and it just comes out. So what I try to do, and hello to you too, Wendy from Australia. Good morning to you. You're in Ohio too? Oh my goodness. All right. Well, lots of Ohioans in the house here, Richard. From Ohio too? Okay. Hi, Pauline. Hi, Sue. Sue Carol. What was that last one? Mel, hello. Okay. Hi, Angie. Mary. Thanks for watching, everybody. Lindsay and Suzanne as well. Thank you for watching tonight. Thank you. Michelle, Jill, thank you for joining. And Jade, thank you. And Jill. Okay. Okay. All right. Okay, Wendy. Guess how you're going to start your morning? With a palm reading. Woo! Now, this is how I try to do it in this short amount of time that I have, okay? Because as I was starting to say, I'm a talker, and my palm readings can go on and on and on. So I try to focus on the few things that pop out at me, and you have something that pops out at me like boom, just like, yeah, it has a big gigantic spotlight on it. Okay, you have a Simeon hand. You are a part of 5 to 7% of the entire population of the planet. That is the hand, the lines on your hand. You are 5 to 7% of the entire population of the planet. So, yeah. Wendy, good morning. Good morning. You're like, wait, what? I didn't sign up for this. I take it back. No, it's okay. It's okay. You see how you have one line going across, right? Instead of having two lines. See, there should be a top line, which is a relationship line, right? As you can see, like right here on me, right? This line. And then there should be another line below that, which is the wisdom line. And then down here is the lifeline, okay? Well, you just have one straight line going across. Now you may say, wait a minute, Rachel, I have two lines going this way. I'll get to that in a minute. So with a Simeon hand, Simeon-handed people, oh, you set your alarm? Oh, my goodness. All right. So I better not disappoint. No pressure, no pressure. Okay. So with the Simeon hand, Simeon-handed people, a lot of palm readers, and I really don't know why, but they will refuse to read Simeon-handed people. And I always find that fact interesting. Like, people with Simeon hands will come to me and say, I've tried to have my palm read, and they said no. Well, I'm going to read your hand, Wendy, okay? And I read every Simeon hand that comes across my path, okay? And there's probably only been about, I don't know, in 35 years, I'd say probably about 25 Simeon hands that I can remember out of 35 years, because you're only 5 to 7% of the entire population of the planet. So with that one line, what that one line means is that your relationships are kind of braided, your relationship energy is braided with your wisdom. So your philosophy, your personal ideologies, all of that, all braided in with your relationships. So if somebody does something that you deem to be wrong, okay, so you'll be like, done with you, cut dry, done with them. And people will be like, what was that? What just happened? Because a lot of Simeon-handed people will not explain their actions, because in their head is going a million miles an hour and constantly thinking, constantly thinking. So you are very well respected, though, for your tenacity. And what I mean by tenacity is the fact that people that are around you in your friendship circle, in your work circle, they respect you quite a lot because Saturn, which is this finger right here, the bad middle finger, and who happens to be in retrograde at the moment, now he is actually very, very long on your hand and very dominant. And he's the finger that goes out. You've been single for 10 years. Yeah, yep. So a lot of Simeon hands have trouble with finding significant others and maintaining those significant other relationships, okay? Because of that intensity. Simeon hands always have an intensity. But back to Saturn. So people are going to respect you for the fact that you have this go-get-em kind of attitude. You have this, like, I'm going to do it. It needs to be done. I'm really going to make sure it gets done no matter what happens. So nobody worry, I got this. And you have that on your hand. You also, Mercury is farther away than the rest of your fingers, which means that you don't really argue unless you are backed into a corner, which is rare for a Simeon hand. Okay, that aspect on your hand is very rare for a Simeon hand. Usually Mercury is closer to the other fingers. Now, the other thing is that your energy, your personal energy is very, very strong, which is also why you are so very well respected. Now, there are a few things. You have some homework. You're going to have some homework because you're a Simeon hand. Now, Simeon hands are often associated with indigo children, indigo people, also associated with people that are known as changelings. And I know you may say, wait, that has to do with the Fae, right? Well, they say, look up what changelings are, okay? And oftentimes, people that have a type of hand that you have will feel like they just can't find their home, that they are out of place, that they just are not really welcome wherever they end up. And that is because of the intensity that they have in dealing with their relationships. Because understand, your ideologies, your principles, your own personal philosophies of how people should treat you and how you treat people, they are all intertwined with your relationships themselves. So, and you also have this way about you that you won't speak up and say what's troubling you unless you are backed into a corner. So my advice to you is you have this line, which is on the other side, it comes straight down, right? And that is a presence line. And that shows just how well respected you are by people, okay, Wendy? Now, understand that with that respect, there's a lot of responsibility, and you might feel like you have to kind of pretend to be somebody that you're not. And it's okay. It's okay. But you have to find those people that you are comfortable with. But yeah, this is why your hand is different, because you are a rare, rare person indeed, a rare soul energy, okay? Now, with that, people also respect you for your ability to get things done. People also respect you for what they see on the outside as somebody who just lives their life. But what they don't see is what's underneath this mask that you put on, because you have a bit of an actor's formation, meaning that Saturn and Apollo are kind of together on your hand at the base, okay? So with that means that you will put a mask on, like a little Halloween mask, and be like, I'm fine. See, look, I can do this. Just bring it to me. I'll do it. When underneath, you might be crying. Okay? So you need to find those people that are going to rip that mask off and be like, Wendy, just be you. And they are out there. But you have to trust yourself. And you do have the ability to distinguish between who is genuine and who is disingenuous. You really do, because you are a Simeon Hand. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me. Okay? And I hope that helped, Wendy, but that is why your hand is so different. Okay? So kudos to you. Another one to add to my list for a Simeon Hand. All right. And thank you for confirming that, Wendy. Okay, so who else do we have? Leah, and I'm not going to attempt the last name. Okay, all right. All right. All right, what's the show about? Okay, we have something on the screen. Here we go. So we have a new show with some fellow Americans tomorrow. Spiritual growth and a demonstration of mediumship. All right. And that starts at 8 o'clock UK time, which would be 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. All right. Okay, so, and we're back. All right, so Leah McKeswick. Now I can see the name. All right. Leah, you have a water hand. Leah. All right, now, as you can see, you have 3 lines, whereas before there were just really the 2 major lines, right? Now, there's some things I want to talk about with your hand, Leah, is that what kind of jumps out at me is that you are lacking a presence line. And you're lacking a presence line because you are doing everything for other people, everything that you can possibly do for others. And it's to the point of where you're kind of getting, you, Leah, and I'm doing great, thanks. But you, Leah, you're getting lost in the shuffle. So you have to pull back a little bit and let people understand, hey, I'm Leah and I'm the one doing the work. Because you should have a line that runs up through the center, and it kind of shows how people respect you, right? Like if you walk into, excuse me, I have this itch on my nose. I always end up getting an itchy nose right around the edge here, so please forgive me. But so you should have a line going up through the center, and you do not have that. At least I cannot see it in this photo, okay? But what you do have are really strong principles, strong ideologies, strong ethics, really super strong ethics. And that is because of stuff that happened to you when you were younger. Now, why do I say that? Because your wisdom line, which is the second line, the one in the middle that goes across, is so very much deep. I mean, deeper than the other lines on your hand, okay? So, even deeper than your lifeline, and don't let that scare you. And don't let any other palm reader tell you the fact that you have a shorter lifeline be something horrible. Don't let them tell you that. I have actually seen, and I'm not making this up, I have seen maybe an 80-plus-year-old woman who had a lifeline that was an inch long, and she was sitting in front of me. So don't let any palm reader tell you that the length of that line has anything to do with the length of your life, okay? Don't let it happen. All right, so the other thing is that you had so much stuff happen to you when you were younger, and when you came into, and you're a water sign too? Oh, wow. Okay, so you are holding on to water everywhere. But when you came into this world, which can be seen right here at the beginning of the lines, this is the beginning of the lines, okay? And for me, this is the end of the lines, okay? Around this way. So up here, we can see just how set in your ways you became. And this kind of created this whole pattern for you to seek out people that would have things in common with you. Now, on your relationship line, it's very, how to put this, it's called thready, meaning that it comes kind of in and out, and weaves in and out, which means that you will kind of feel very strongly about other people, and then when they go against those ethics, you'll be like, whoop, you're gone, out, leave, right? Which is okay. Let's see what you're saying here. That makes sense. I was the eldest. It took a lot of care of my younger siblings. Okay. Now, the other thing is that with your water hand, you are consistently just trying to stay afloat. Just trying to stay afloat, because water stands for emotions in palmistry, and also in almost every form of divination, including tarot and you name it, right? So with already having a water sign, a water hand, you're highly intuitive, you're highly empathic, you're probably a clair. You probably don't even like to talk about being a clair. Maybe you don't know what it is to be a clair, but I get the feeling that you're clairaudient. But anyway, that's a whole other ball of wax. That's not what we're here for right now. Now, one of the things I want to tell you is that people are going to come to you and they are going to dump their problems on you. Their water is going to be dumped on you. And if you don't get rid of that water, you are going to sink. Period. So you have to find a place where you can be you. Where you have to set boundaries. You have to find a place where people will know Leah for Leah. Because right now, you do not have that presence line that I spoke about. Instead, they just almost expect you to do things for them. And that's not fair for anybody, is it? And that's especially not fair for somebody who has a water hand. Because not only do you have your own emotions that you hold on to through your own situations that you are going to on your own, but you also pick up on all the emotions of the people around you, and you kind of absorb them like a sponge. And you have to wring out a sponge, don't you, after a while, or else you can't use it anymore. So understand, you have to find a place to put all that extra water. And how do you do that? Well, you find things that are all about self-care. You do meditation, not private meditation. Do go out and go to a meditation, like a group meditation where there is actually a facilitator, somebody who's trained to talk you down into that state, okay? You journal, you go to paint and sips, you do things for yourself, and you stop telling people where and when you will be somewhere, because then you will be taking control back of your time and of your energy, because your energy is yours and people are taking far too much of it right now. You have yet to grow a presence line, and you deserve a presence line, Leo. You do. And it will come. That line can actually form all on its own. Because a lot of the lines, these three lines, the relationship, the wisdom, and the lifeline, they're on you when you're in the womb at around 4 to 5 weeks. And they change in the depth. And all the lines that come off of them and all the lines that are everywhere else except the fingerprints change every 6 to 8 weeks. So when I say that you can actually change these lines, I mean it. You attempt to journal and ground yourself. Well, have you ever gone earthing? Which is just spending some time outside in your bare feet or sitting on the ground, sitting next to a tree. Try doing something like that, going to a park, right? And just spending some time outside, especially now that it's summertime. I think that it would really, really help you because water hands are consistently trying to find dry land in order to rest and be able to take that deep breath of air. Okay, that sigh, just let it all out. So I hope that helped, Leah. I hope that helped. And if you have any questions, please just get back to me. Okay? All right, I'm going to take a quick drink of water here. Okay. So, the audio is a little bit scratchy for you again. Okay, Cassie Walker. Okay. This is your life. They should bring that show back. All right, Cassie. Woo, look at that ring. All right. So you're a lefty, and I am assuming this is the hand that you write with. Okay? I'm assuming. So I'm going to go with it. Now, you have a combination hand. You have a combination earth and water hand. Okay? And you might be like, water. Yeah. You have a combination hand. So, water. What is water on your hand? First off, Jupiter, aka Zeus, the index finger. Okay? And also Saturn. So those guys are both water, and they have to deal with self-esteem, ego, getting things done. And then the earth side of you, your palm, and also Apollo, Mercury, and Venus. Now, with that, what does water do to earth? Your palm is earth. Earth gives out nutrients no matter what. I mean, that's the sole purpose of soil, right? Is to give out nutrients to whatever is planted into it. So you are giving nutrients out to people through your communication. So you would be a great speaker on different subjects. You would be a great teacher. You would be a great you would be really great at that because your communicators, which are Apollo and Mercury, are both Earth, okay? So you would be providing nutrients to those people that would be listening. Now, the other thing is, though, your palm is also Earth, and so is Venus. Now, Venus has to do with social interaction, the good, the bad, and the ugly, the whole ball of wax, right? Now, some people call this Mars. No, not me. So anyway, over here to the watery guys. Too much water does what to a growing plant or a garden? it can be seen as a nutrient up to a certain point because you have to water things, right? But after a while, too much water can have the exact opposite effect of what you want. It can actually destroy and decimate the entire garden. Wash it out and turn everything to mud and kill everything that you're trying to grow. So, with your Jupiter finger and your Saturn finger actually being water, you are taking water on from people, and do not let their hesitation to get to know you affect that earth side of you. Okay, and what I mean by that is people are going to sense that you might, and I hate to say this, but I'm going to say it, you have a lot of lines on your hand, which is, a lot of people say that that is the sign of a prophet. Not prophet, F-I-T, but prophet, P-H-E-T, okay? So, because you kind of get information from every interaction that you have with people, and it sticks with you. So, you are going to have trouble with people actually wanting to get to know you on a deeper level because they're going to be intimidated by how much they think you know about them, just at first glance or just by touching them. And it's a vibe thing, and it's a subconscious thing, and they're not really going to get it, but they're going to act that way, all right? Now, the other thing is that your wisdom line and your lifeline, you have so many tangents, so many branches coming off everywhere, off of the center of your hand, that you are going to be doing one thing and saying one thing with people around you, but feeling and thinking another way. And that is never good. And you don't deserve to have to be that way, just to have people around you. You deserve to be you, 100% you, Casey, okay? So you just need to find the right people. Now, the other interesting thing is that you have people in your current life that you knew in a past life, and they have the quality of Jupiter, and they also have the quality of Saturn, which is very interesting because those are your two water fingers, okay? So understand, those people that are in your life, you knew in a past life, and they add water to your soil, not in a very good way. So they will want to keep you down, because that, whenever you have those kind of soul connections from past lives, it's always a karmic test, okay? To kind of see what you're going to do in this life. Are you going to be friends with them? Are you going to break off the hamster, like jump off the hamster wheel? Or are you going to stay on the hamster wheel? Now, another thing is that, remember what I said in the very beginning, how I wanted to talk about Neptune a little bit. Neptune is in retrograde. Neptune is right here, and I don't often bring it up because it's not a very good point of discussion, but on you have a lot going on in that area. So understand that this area is often about how people perceive you to be, okay? So please do not just blame everybody, because what it is it is a subconscious thing on their part as to why they kind of are like, who is this person? Who's Casey? That is a subconscious thing. It's not conscious, okay? It's not conscious decision on their part. You will have to go out of your way in order to get to know more people because they are intimidated by your energy. You are a very wise old soul. You are, which is why on your relationship line, you have so many people wanting to get to know you, but they also kind of shy away. And that can be seen in the bridging lines between your relationship line and your wisdom line. And these little lines that go kind of cross over each other, okay? So the takeaway from this is also you have sister lines. Sister lines are in the Mount of Venus, and they are there to protect you, and they run parallel to the lifeline, okay? So anytime something negative gets thrown at you by people, they take the first hit, the brunt of it, the worst of it, and kind of take that impact away from you. And you're going to have them for a very, very long time. All you have to do is look at your hand to see those lines. And you're also going to have them down through this situation as well. And these lines can change, okay? This stuff can change. But I'm telling you right now, Casey, do not blame people for the way they behave around you. Instead, and I can't believe I'm saying this, but it's almost like you have to speak on a different level in order for them to understand. And that's just how it's going to be because you are an older soul. So you would be a really great teacher, a really great professor. You would be a great, and I know somebody doesn't like this term, but shaman. You would be a really great going into stuff like that, okay? Even spiritual healer kind of stuff, okay? So you might want to look into Reiki and working with your hands, and you also might want to look into sculpture in order to get all that stuff, that water out of you, so it doesn't actually hurt your garden that you're trying to grow. If you have any questions, Casey, just reach out to me, because I could go on and on and on with hand. I know. All right. Okay, Casey. Well, you take care. All right. So, moving on. Oh, my earbud almost fell out there. Okay, sun. Sun. Here comes the sun. Do 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 do. The other Ohioan. All right. So you cut off, well, at least on my end of things, Saturn is cut off a little bit, but it's okay. I can pretty much get the gist of it. So you, my friend, also have a Simeon tendency hand as well. Now, you have very, very, very deep lines, the lines that you do have, the most important lines, those being your lifeline and also your relationship line. But why I say a Simeon tendency hand is because your relationship line is so very, very deep that it's like, where is the wisdom line? It's down here, it is, but it's so very, very faint, and it's so far, far away from the lifeline that it's almost a situation line versus it being a wisdom line. So you have a Simeon tendency hand. So almost a complete Simeon hand. Again, 2 of them in one show. This is wild. All right. So also, you have all this branching underneath Saturn. This is a sore spot for you. Okay? And what I mean by that is you do, and you do, and you do, and you do. and you do some more. But do you get your recognition that you deserve? I don't think you do. And you really need to. You deserve it. But here's the thing, is that Jupiter is very, very short. He's almost the same length as Mercury, okay? So your ego and self-esteem isn't going to be demanding that recognition. But these two fingers, which Saturn, which is that very dictatorial, you're going to do what I say because I'm the only one that knows how to do it. And also the God that just went out and made sure that whatever the fates decreed was actually completed. And of course, then there's his own personality, which he ate his own children and stuff. That's a personality right there, okay? With him being so very, very long, and also Apollo, who is a communicator, but he expresses himself. So there's self-care, there's creativity, there's all these different things. There's also the medical arts wrapped up in this finger, right? These two are so very close together that you also feel like you have to put on that Halloween mask. That mask to pretend to be somebody else in order to get through in life. And it's not fair. But what is interesting about your hand is that anything that you do for others, people are going to know that you did it, whether or not you understand that or not, because it's going to have your signature all over it. They're going to be like, ooh, Sun did this. Sun did this, because you have a certain way of doing things that nobody else has. Okay. And are you here by any chance, or did you just drop your picture and leave, Sun? I would like for you to respond if possible. I'm going to continue for a few more minutes and then I'm going to move on unless you respond. So also, Mercury is far away, and so is Jupiter. So you have that actor's formation, which is what I'm talking about when I say that mask, right? And because you do have that Simeon tendency, Simeon-handed people always try to pretend to be, oh, you are here, okay. They always try to be somebody that everybody wants them to be in order to fit in. And it's all right not to fit in. You're not meant to fit in. You are meant to be the change. You understand? And sometimes change is uncomfortable for some people. And sometimes change is embraced by others. You just have to find those people that embrace change and think that change is wonderful. And they are out there. They are out there. Now, the other thing is that you have this line, which I'm going to call situation line, that kind of comes off of Saturn and goes down. It kind of wires all around, and it comes down. And is it a presence line? No. What it is it's an influence line from somebody that you knew in a past life that has the quality of Saturn, okay? Now, with that, you also have this line coming over to the side, which is another situation line. Now, that situation line is going right through a plane of Aries. And so you actually have to start right now defending who you are and what your beliefs are, using your intuition, because you are extremely, extremely intuitive, and you are also probably like an 85% Simeon Hand as well, okay? So that intensity, you don't have to rein it in. You just have to take into consideration how rare people like you are. And if you are a gift. It's not a detriment. It's not, don't think poorly of yourself or anything. A lot of Simeon-handed people always have this, like, look down upon themselves because they have a hard time with relationships. It's just that you are that special. You are. All Simeon-handed people are just that special and that rare that the majority of the planet don't know how to behave around them. So they end up being jerks to them. I'll just say it plainly, right? So what you need to do is just be you. Be creative. You have a creative streak in you. Be creative. And also, I don't know if you have any kind of arts organizations around you, but I really feel that you need to start. You don't get recognition at work. I know. And so you would get recognition if you were to actually join an arts organization. And you may say, oh, I can't paint. Oh, yes, you can. Oh, yes, you can. You are very, very creative. As I said, if you go and you do something for somebody else, everybody's going to know that you did it. And they're going to know that you did it in a good way because you bring great ideas to the table. Ideas that other people wouldn't think of. And people will use that to their advantage. So I hope that helped, son. I really, really do. And just understand how rare you are, okay? And don't get angry that you don't get that recognition. Do not get angry. Just use your intuition and feel out the situation that is going on, and just use simple truth with people when you go to explain what's going on, okay? That's all you have to do. I hope that helped some, okay? And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Please, please do, okay? All right. I'm going to take another drink of water here. Okay. Felicity, you do not have to send in, you do not have to register at the website to send in the palms. And son, you are very, very welcome. And I'm so glad that you love art. I'm so glad that you love art. Because you would be really great at it. You would be really great at it. Stace. All right. All right. I did, didn't I, cheek? Okay. All right. So, Stace, is this your current life hand or your past life? Because that's something I did not explain to everybody, is that the hand that you write with, your dominant hand, is what we are doing tonight, right? Because when I first meet people, that's the hand that I focus on. And that means that the hand that you do not write with, which for me, because I'm right-handed, that would mean my left hand, all the lines on my left hand are a map to the most poignant events in my past lives. So I can see if I am repeating things over and over again, or I can also see how, by comparing both hands together, how to jump off that hamster wheel and kind of fix that situation so that I don't keep repeating the same mistakes again. And that goes for everybody, okay? So, Stace, is this your current life hand or is this your past life hand? Because it would be a completely different reading if this is your past life. It's your dominant hand? Okay. All right, so Stace, you have really, really interesting line work, almost very fluid, okay? So you have a way of fitting in to places almost like water will kind of find those nooks and crannies and those cracks here and there. Wherever there is a crack, water will find it. And why do I say that? Because you have a water palm, but you have air fingers. Now, with your fingers being the way they are, it's because they are very, very pointy, okay? Now, some people might say, oh, they look very Earth-like to me because of their length. Sure, okay, but I'm going with air. And why do I say that? Because of the protective quality of the lines that you have. Your wisdom line is completely separate. Do you see how mine pinches together right here? My wisdom line and my lifeline pinch together. Yours do not. Your two lines there do not. Now, what that means is that you have a tie-in, or almost like a open line of communication to your past life wisdom. All the stuff that happened in your past life. That wisdom. So you can look from A to Z and kind of see what's going to happen all through the middle. And people will come to you and ask you your opinion on things, okay? And you'll give it. And you will be relying on that wisdom from your past life. Not just the wisdom that you have gleaned in your current life, but past life as well. Now, another thing is that I need you to do some hand yoga. And I need you to go like this. And you don't have to send a picture in. But see if you have a line right here. And you can kind of see mine right there. Okay. And that is a higher purpose line. People that have this type of line work where the wisdom line is separate from the lifeline. Yes, everybody has a past life. That's the other hand, okay? Now I lost where I was. Now, anybody that has that line work, right? Meaning that the wisdom line is separate from the lifeline. They have that higher purpose line. And if you do not, you're gonna get one. Okay, it's going to start growing. So pay attention to that area. And people that have this configuration, dependent upon how long the wisdom line is, and if it goes straight across or if it goes down, it can actually be found on people that make good lawyers, good politicians, people that actually can speak up for their community and make changes and be the voice for the voiceless. Okay? So make waves of change for the better. And you can feel what needs to be changed. You do have that ability. And you know what to say. Okay. So the other thing is that you have somebody in your current life from your past life that also had the quality of Saturn, right? Now that can be seen in the line that comes down from underneath Saturn. Now usually those lines denote a significant other. Could be somebody you're with now or you broke up with or whoever, right? But it was somebody that had great importance in your life at a certain point in time. And also could actually refer to parents as well. So you were going to study the law and change your degree? Well, here you go. You could have been a really good lawyer, okay? You really could have been. Now, the other thing is that you have a lot of line work going over into your amount of intuition. So that could have actually helped with you feeling out what course to take and who was telling the truth and who was kind of weaving a story, we'll say, okay? Now, you also have a lot of line work coming from the base of your thumb going toward your lifeline. Now, those are situations that are negative. Now, that is kind of all clumped together on your hand, okay? Those lines can change, but they are going to influence what is right across from it, which is you kind of going into this very highly intuitive stage of your life and kind of forgetting about the woulda, shoulda, couldas of life that you had at one point, okay? And also, the fact that your fingers are so tapered and that they are air is kind of a protective device. Because with water hands, they are, as I said, the most intuitive hand, but they can't differentiate whose emotions are whose. What's like, if I was a water hand, I'd be like, okay, why am I upset? What is upsetting me right now? I would probably be like that the majority of the time, like I'm not already. But anyway, I digress. But you also have these air hands. And the thing with air is that when you interact with people, you interact with the fingers. So the fingers are what people, that energy, that's what they first come in contact with. All right? Now, air is one of those energies that you can decide to help people, or you can be like, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to help you at all. Or you can be like, you know what? Or you can be really vindictive and be like, I'm not going to help you at all, and I'm going to put you right back where you started. So that's why people will hesitate. It's almost like a safety guard of people coming to get you. Totally get that. Always had good intuition, but always struggled with emotional understanding. Okay. So understand this, that air is one of the most misunderstood of the four elements. Because of that reason, it can decide to blow the wind in somebody's sails to propel them forward. It can be like, nope, not doing it. Or else it can be very vindictive and be like, no, I'm pushing you right back all the way to where you started. And that's why people are kind of like, oh, what are we going to do? What are we going to do with Stace? Because it takes a lot to get to know this water side of you. Okay? Because they have to go through all this energy first, the finger energy, to get to who you are. The palm is what's closest to the heart. And that is who you are underneath it all. Okay? And that is a water person. So I hope that helped, Stace. And I hope you found that interesting. But you really should have gone into law. I'm telling you. You should have gone into law. There's always a chance to be, community stuff and things of that nature. Because you really do have a voice that could be used very cut and dry. That's very much an air hand way of doing things. And when you got home, that's when you would probably worry about what was said. But understand that somebody has to be the voice of reason, and somebody has to be the voice for the voiceless. And you would do very well at that. All right, Stace. It was good seeing you. Good reading your hand, too. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me. You absolutely understand that? I'm looking into... I didn't get to read what she said at the end there, Richard. Criminal psychology and victim counseling. Okay. Okay. They cut their thumb off. Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. All right. Well, shall I switch over to cards for a little bit then? Okay. All right. Natalie. All right. Somehow I knew I'd end up reading your hand. I tuned in to watch Matt and Kirsty on Monday, and I saw your name, and I was like, Saoirse. Okay, because I love the name. I love the name. I love your middle name there. But yeah, I don't know. I just felt drawn to you, and I hoped that I would be able to read your palm. And here you are, Natalie. Here's Natalie with her hand. All right, so if this is your dominant hand, it doesn't matter that you cut off your thumb, but you cut off your thumb, Natalie, okay? I'm just going to point that out, the obvious, all right? But you have a fire palm. Like if you were to draw a line around your palm, it would be a square, and that's fire. But you have earth fingers, and the earth fingers are the length of them, okay? Fire fingers are shorter, much shorter than what you have on your hand. So with that, you have a volatile combination hand. Now, there's one thing that both fire and earth have in common, and that is that they both need to be fed. Now, your fingers are earth, so you are interacting with people nonstop, right? They're coming up to you. They want those nutrients. They're going to drop in. They're going to dump their problems on you, and they're going to get that little taste of nutrients. They're going to feel better, and then they're going to walk away, and you're going to be like, what about me, right? Well, and then with fire, the fire side of you, the palm, yeah, I'm weird like that, Natalie. I'm weird, okay? You'll get to know me. I'm weird, right? So, your hand, the fire side of you, right? Now, it needs to be fed or it burns out. Just like the soil, the earth side of you, when you're dealing with people all the time, and people are coming for nutrients from you all the time, what happens when those nutrients are no longer there? Nothing's going to grow. So the soil, the earth needs to be fed as well. And that is what both elements have in common. But the bad part is that it has to rely on other people. So boundaries, boundaries, boundaries. You have to have boundaries. And the earth side of you is going to be like, no, I can't do boundaries, because the natural impulse that you have as an partial earth hand is to just give freely, right? I mean, that's what earth does. So with you and your palm being fire, you have the ability to actually create a warm space, to create the food, to take care of people, to nurture, but you also have the ability to burn bridges. But once you burn those bridges, how are you going to get back across? You can't burn the bridge while standing on it either. But that is something that you sometimes do because of the earth side of you. Because you will feel this intense, like, this just wasn't right, the way people treated me. And that is what happens with earth fire hands, is that they will burn the bridge as they are standing on it, okay? And I kind of chuckle because I know fire earth hand very well, and I'm not going to say who that person is, but it might just be, this one right here. But anyway, this one right here. But so your hands. Now, Mercury is set very, very low, but isn't that far from the rest of your fingers, which means that you have this ability to speak up. You do. You can speak up using that spine of yours and be like, look, this isn't right. And also Apollo right here, which is about expressing himself, right? So that is all about, and you're a Sagittarius, okay? So he's all about expressing himself. So he's the one who's going to get all that stuff off of his shoulders, off his back, all that weight off of him, right? By doing and practicing self-care and boundaries. Because if anybody understands boundaries, it's Apollo, right? And the other part are Helios, because Apollo represents the sun. Now, Saturn, Kronos, he is the guy that is like, I'm just going to do it. I don't care. And he is the longest finger on your hand. And if you notice, if your palm wasn't at a slant, okay, if it didn't go down like this, Apollo and Jupiter would be the same height, okay? They would be the same length. Yeah, I know. That's what a fire earth hand is. They are empaths. Now, there are different, you're getting ahead of me here, Natalie. Now, hold on. Now, because Apollo and Jupiter are the same length, that means that you feel better about yourself if you find people that will listen to how others make you feel. And that's not a bad thing, because you have a lot to get off of your chest or off your back, your shoulders, whatever's weighing you down. You have a lot to unload. Because what are emotions but water, as I said before, right? So what does water do to fire? It puts it out. And what does too much water do to a garden? It destroys it. So you have to find those people, and you have to feel better. And it's okay to feel better by putting how you feel onto other people. It's okay for you to do it, because of the combination that you have. Now you have to find the right people that will put up with it, okay? And those would be air-handed people, all right? Now the other thing is that your lifeline and your wisdom line do not pinch together. So you're also here for a higher purpose. But again, I just keep wanting to tell you, Natalie, do not burn the bridge while you're standing on it. I feel like there's a situation going on in your life right now where you're like, enough of this, and you're just going to be like, that's it. I'm going to burn it to the ground. That's it, right? And you can't do it. You can't do it. You have to pick a side. Go over the bridge, and then you can burn it if you want to. But you can't do it while you're standing on it, because it'll burn. It'll like put your fire. All the water will put your fire out, and it'll also drown every plant you were trying to grow, every project you have in the works for yourself, every interest you have. It will drown you out. Now, a couple interesting things on your hand also is your relationship line. Stop isolating. Stop isolating. You want to isolate too much. You do. Okay? Now, I get it, because people will come and they will dump on you, and you have this subconscious kind of energy protective thing of like feeling, okay, people are putting too much water on me. I can't have them put my fire out. So you are very protective of yourself, your soul self, okay? And it's okay. But I also want to tell you that you are very well respected, more respected than you know. But you also need to set an example for some people around you. And I don't know who those people are, there are many different types of empaths, and you need to find out and do a little bit more research. I'm so accurate right now, it's insane. Well, thank you. But there are many different types of empaths, and I only read and I only suggest books that I have read myself. And if you want, these people don't even know me. I mean, the people that I suggest for authors. But if you are interested in doing some reading on what type of empath you are, or how to kind of maneuver around different gifts that you have or abilities, please get in contact with me, and I can certainly, absolutely give you some titles of some books that you can read for yourself, okay? And I hope that helped, Natalie, and please get in touch if you have any questions or would like the names of those books, okay? And it was good finally getting to meet you. Was, Saoirse. Yeah, see, I know how to say that name. All right, so who do we have? Oh, it's 17 after over here for me. Okay. All right, so we're going to be doing some cards now, everybody. So remember, just as a refresher, this is the deck I chose for tonight. So this is the Guardian of the Night deck, and it is by M.J. Cullinane. And this happens to be the High Priestess card, which I think is kind of funny. That's why she's wearing this little Egyptian thingy here on them. And this is what the box looks like. And if you are interested in it, you might have to do a real deep dive to find out where you can find it. But she also did another deck called the Crow Tarot. But everything in this has to do with everything that's in the shadows. So Sherry, absolutely you're getting a card. All right. I just love the way these cards feel too. There was a really great printing quality of the cards. All right, so we have Temperance. And you may be, what, a frog? A frog? Why do I have a frog? Well, first off, a frog has to deal with prosperity. And the whole temperance thing is your cup is running over, all right? Look at the water that is coming out of this cup. So this is a major arcana card. So this is saying if you actually just sit back, take it easy, things are just going to come toward you in a good way. Kind of be the observer right now, okay? And also we see the full moon up here, which I think the full moon is on the 13th. I'm not too sure about that. It might be the 14th. But so also look for things around that time to start to change. But a frog actually stands for prosperity. And as you can see, there's going to be some emotion with all of this because there is water here, okay? So, and it's also raining, as we can see the rain, okay? But understand that there might be a rainbow at the end. There will be. Just hang in there. Just hang in there. Okay, Sherry, I hope that helped. Okay. Allison. All right. Absolutely. Yes, indeedy. Ooh, you got the Queen of Pentacles. Now, the thing with this card is I actually really like this card because we have a female cardinal on the back, and which is an ancestor. Oops, sorry, my light's kind of blinding out the card. We also have a rabbit for good luck. And we also have the Queen of Pentacles here actually being revered as the Queen, okay? And the Queen is a very giving person in this card, okay? We see the crown up here. She's also wearing a crown. And we see all these sunflowers, and she has so much light in her and energy in her that the sunflowers, even though it's nighttime, they're open and they're facing her. And who is she facing? She's facing the viewer. So you are actually the light, Allison. You are the light in this card. So understand, you are the queen. With what you are doing right now, you have so much expertise. You have much more expertise than you think that you have, okay? And the sunflowers are actually facing your light. So give yourself a break. I really feel like you have to give yourself a pat on the back and don't be so hard on yourself, because you became the Queen of Pentacles because this is the Queen of Earth, or the Queen of Coins, and what you are doing now is going to lead to much larger things, because this is also a work card, a business card, okay? So look for that. Look for that. All right? Okay. Yeah, you'd love some energy. Oh, you have a lot of energy. You have a lot of light, Allison. You do. Mel, okay. I'm going to cut the cards real fast here. Shuffle a little bit. Okay. Ooh, we have the 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Coins. Now look at all this. So this is a flurry of activity. This is like all of these bees being like, okay, we got to get this pollen. We got to hurry up. We got to do this. Because this is the 10 of Earth. This is everything all at once. Now, the 10 of Earth is all about community. It's about thinking about the future for community, for family, for everything. But this is what all the work is in preparation for that happiness that you can have within the community and within your family. Because as you see, they're collecting all this pollen from all of these. I think those are actually impatiens, if I'm not mistaken. I could be mistaken there, because it's supposed to be a nocturnal plant, nighttime plant. But they kind of look like impatiens to me. But anyway, so these bees are actually collecting at night, and they are busy. So understand that you have joy coming your way. You have a lot of family comfort coming your way. And enjoy it. Allow yourself to enjoy it, Mal. Please allow yourself to enjoy it, because sometimes things like this, moments like this, are often fleeting because we're too worried about waiting for the other shoe to drop or the other foot to drop. You know what I mean? Like, okay, when's this gonna end? Don't even think about that. Just give yourself time to enjoy it. All right. So who do we have next, Richard? Felicity. All right. Okay. Ooh, we have the King of Fire, aka the King of Wands. Okay. Now, looking at this card, you are being pestered by a crow right on top of the head. I mean, what is going on here? And we also have a wand in your paw with a snake. Now, snakes in First Nation and indigenous culture stands for ancestors. So you are getting a lot of influence from a lot of like dream state kind of stuff. And also, you have a lot of people waiting on you to take action with something that's going on in your life right now. This is the King of Fire. So, Felicity, understand. And this is also a moonflower that's down here, a type of moonflower. We have those everywhere, actually. And we also have some, as we say here in Ohio, we say lightning bugs. You might say fireflies. We say lightning bugs. So we have a lot of those that are lighting the sky here. But if you notice, there are what seem to be a bunch of eyes that are in the ground just waiting for you to decide what you are going to do. You need to take action, and you need to take action very quickly. And this is a family situation. King of Fire. It will be quick. It will be done very, very quickly, and it will be over with very quickly. Now, this is a situation. This is not a card that is or pertains to who you are. Okay. Hope that helped, Felicity. All right. Do we have anybody else, Richard? Okay. Victoria, you had 2 frogs. All right. I can't hear you at all, Richard. I heard if you heat the pond. We're having. Yes, I can. Yep. Yes, I can. Yes. Hmm. Oh, interesting. Interesting. That's very, very interesting, actually. Richard's giving me information about frogs. That's all. Information about frogs. Frogs are a common thing. Let me tell you a little story. I'll tell you a little story here very quickly. My mother went to the store. This happened last year, and she bought a container of grapes. And I can't remember. There were some newfangled type of grape, like cotton candy grapes or something, that are supposed to taste like cotton candy, and they came from somewhere, right? I don't even know where, but it wasn't in the States. And she got it home. She rinsed off the grapes, and she had them in a bowl, and she went to pick a grape, and she looked at what was on her hand, and there was a tiny, tiny little green frog that had made it, and had made it all the way from wherever these grapes were from, and made it through everything that the manufacturer, or the factory that put the grapes together had hid, and made it all the way to Ohio and on my mom's hand. And I just thought that was the funniest, most absurd thing. And this little frog was a little tiny guy. And he was the greenest green you could possibly imagine. It's not poisonous. It was not poisonous, Richard. No, it was cute. You should have seen him. He had this look on his face like, where am I? What is going on? All right, Victoria, you're getting a card. All this talk about frogs. All right, let's do this. Okay. Ooh, we have the Page of Pentacles. Now, I actually pulled this card Victoria, on the day that Neptune went into retrograde. Now, this is the Kraken. Okay, this is the Kraken coming from the deep, as you can see. He's coming through the water. But what is he doing? He's not attacking you. Instead, he's trying to give you a message. And he's trying to give you a coin. It's saying, here, please take this. Please take this. Do something with this. So you are receiving a message right now about Earth and about coins. So there is a situation going on in your world that is very, very much important, and you are kind of putting a blind eye to it at the moment. And the Kraken is a very, very important figure in Greek myth, okay, and in myth in general. The Kraken is everywhere in all actuality. And here he is, being the page, aka the messenger, and trying to help you out. And there are stars up in the sky trying to light things up, light the way for you, so that you can see that this Kraken means no harm to you, other than to show you the severity that he's coming forward with, that without even being called by anybody, to say, hey, I'm here if you need help. So there is a situation that you're going to have to fight through a little bit, because the next card after this is the Knight. We're not quite there yet, but Knights are the ones that do the dirty work, aren't they? And this will be, as I said, the Page of Earth, Page of Coins. So the next card would be the Knight of Earth or Knight of Coins. Okay? So buckle up, Victoria. Feels like your life right now. Okay. All right, so that is me for today, everybody. I will be back in 2 weeks' time. And if you have any questions about palmistry, if you have any questions about the type of palmistry that I do or why I do it this way, please feel free to contact me. Also, you can find me on the directory at sptv.uk, and you can also find me down there, as you can see right on the screen. If you are interested in any type of readings outside of here, etc., please, you can find me, Rachel G. Palmistry. Find me just about anywhere. I'm kind of like that. I just pop up. I just pop up. Okay, and also remember the show tomorrow night at 8 o'clock UK time, 3 p.m. in the afternoon. We have some fellow Americans, yay! And they're going to be doing a demonstration of mediumship and also a talk about spiritual growth. So that should prove interesting, and some of you should really tune in for that and see what they have to say about that, okay? And that is at 8 p.m. UK time. And I will see you in 2 weeks. Thank you for tuning in, and everybody, remember, no matter what, you are not alone. Even if you feel like you are not alone, and you are loved. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.